That's kind of what
Good evening. We are back here in Byhalia at Sweet Swine of Mine Distributing. There is no Mark Lambert this week. He is in Washington. I said something about, hey, man, are you going to see the White House? Are y'all going to see the White House or something? He said, wrong Washington. I didn't know he was going to Washington State. I said, well, take them folks some good deodorant because they don't know how to use it. Did I say that out loud? Shoot! It's a family show. But tonight we do have a special guest host, and he is right here beside me, Mr. Eric Hodson. How are you? Thank you for joining me, bro.
Thank you for having me.
Man, yeah, your family and have always been a good friend of the show. Y'all not only sponsor the Popsicles and Prayer version of, a portion of our show, but has always been a good friend to us and a good friend of the show. So glad to have you. What are we doing tonight, man? I'll let it be up to you. So what are we doing?
Well, we thought we would have more people here.
Yeah,
I guess if Lambert's not here, nobody wants to come.
That's right. And nobody. I see who people like.
Yeah, there's normally a good sized crowd out here, so we had the intentions on doing smash burgers.
Yeah,
which is one of my favorites to cook. You know,
that's right.
If we're gonna, everybody loves burgers.
Yep. Summertime. Right.
It's the beginning of summer. It's been hot down here in the south, so it's felt like summer for a while.
Yep.
But it's the beginning of summer, and what do we do down here? We cook outside as much as we can,
so it won't be hot up in the house.
So it won't be hot in the house. So,
that's right.
One of my favorites is the smash burger, and everybody has seen these TikTok videos or the Facebook videos where everyone's doing these stuffed sausages with cheese or whatever. So I picked up some bratwurst,
two of my favorite
and
words,
some smoked Gouda.
Yeah.
And we've got some smoked Gouda, bacon wraps, stuffed bratwurst.
You said bacon wrap sausage.
So we've got some on the grill, and then we're going to show the audience how we prepare them. So
okay,
we've got time, and we can. And German's here.
G-Man's here.
G-Man's here.
He is doing some benuelos, which is
benuelos and yuca.
And fried yuca. And if you don't know what yuca is, when it's fried, it looks like a French fry, or that's what it looks like. It looks exactly like a fry. The texture of it's fantastic. It's very light. It's fluffy on the inside, but crunchy on the outside. It's almost like if you would roll up phyllo dough and fry it, all the layers of it.
And that's what I was thinking to say. It's layered, and you don't have to put flour on it. You just put it right out of the can and fry it up.
It's so much better than the potato fried.
Oh, yes. Let's see who's on the chat. 2 G's with no cheese, Greg Snyder and Jody Davis. The good preacher from Jody Davis.
One of those guys is one of my favorite people, and it's not Greg.
So you really like Jody Davis?
Yeah, I love Jody. Jody's the man.
Jody is the man.
Greg's the man, too. I'm just picking. Jody won the AR-15 that we raffled off for one of the SCA members that got COVID early in COVID.
Early on,
that we helped out, and Jody was one of the guys in Laurel, Mississippi at Jamie Cooley's Cook.
Did not realize
on New Year's. Jody bought one of the tickets day of and won that gun.
Golly.
Great guy, man. One of my favorite people in SCA.
Greg says, thanks, Eric.
You're welcome, Greg. We love you, brother.
Sandy Brown's watching tonight. Hey, also, Greg, man, I hope your back gets to feeling better.
Yeah.
He's got having some back problems right now. You need just
it's never good with back problems.
You can have it. Oh, I can? Yes. Well, these are freaking gone. Is this the whole can? Yeah. Uh-oh.
Oh, he went early? I'll get one of the smallest.
Yeah.
They're more crispy. Oh, they're so good.
Oh, it is good. I need to order.
He turned me on to him. I can get them at the international store where I'm at. I just came back from the Dominican Republic, and I'm telling you now, they go, "Do you want this?" I'm like, "Yes, I do."
Yes, I do.
I have
Jody
a little
says-
experience.
Jody said he'll never forget getting woke up that night in Laurel by Eric.
He was being the godly man that he is, and he went to bed early, while us heathens stayed up a little later
Imagine that.
and had a little party. And he had his A game on for the next day cooking, is what it is too. But we did the whole pepper roaster with with all the tickets in it.
Yeah.
So we cranked it. We had tons of people that donated to the cause and to win the firearm. And when I called the number, it was dead silent. Everybody was hoping
It was like
their number.
Allen at an SCA contest.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And I said, I know who this is. And I know this person bought this ticket today. And then half the people in the crowd go, oh, because
It took out about half of
it
them.
took out about half of them. And then I said, so that took out the next half.
Uh-huh.
And then I said, unfortunately, they're not even here. And everybody went, oh, damn.
It took out everybody.
It took out everybody. I said, well, we're calling them live.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I woke him up,
Yeah.
but he was right there at that nap. But he was real happy that I called him.
He said, still have that AR as well, but have yet to shoot it, he said.
Well, I tell you what, I'll double your money on that right now if you ever want to party.
Jody, did you hear that?
Double your money. How about
Sandy Brown says the ancillary in Wisconsin this weekend is anything brats. So speak slowly so I can write down the recipe.
That'll be easy. We're going to prep one here in a minute, and then
Show
there's
you
some
how
on the
it's
pit that are about ready.
Yep. So we do have the Gateway drum cam over there, and we'll show you that real quick. See, we got those bacon wrapped bratwurst, cheese stuffed, of course, inside that Gateway drum over there, powered by B&B charcoal, and it's been rolling pretty good for a while. Let's see what Eric might be able to show you over there. Holy smokes. Man, yeah, that looks good, brother.
We're about done. We'll come show everybody how to prep one, and then we'll pull one off.
One.
Yeah, just one. Why just one?
Yo, cuz.
Or 9.
Yeah. So we got the Gateway drum cam over there. We'll bring y'all back to that when he's pulling those off here in a little bit. But so Eric, we had I haven't seen you since Memphis in May, I don't guess, but man, I want to talk about a little bit about you and your wife Candace. Y'all travel a lot. And we were talking about that for food earlier. Y'all travel a lot for food.
That's right.
And have some experiences that y'all document on your Instagram. And what's it, Hodson?
The Hodson Globetrotter.
Hodson Globetrotters. I knew that's what it was. So what kind of places, and I saw the Iceland, and but what food has really like, whoa, this is awesome?
In Iceland.
Well, not necessarily in
okay.
Iceland, anywhere.
Well, we've been woed everywhere we've gone.
Oh,
whether
that's
it's good or bad.
Yeah, I get you.
We'll start with Iceland. That was our recent trip.
Yeah.
Iceland was a trip of a lifetime. It was in the middle of winter. So who goes to Iceland in the middle of winter?
Yeah. You don't
My
like
wife
throw
and I.
darts at the map and go, let's go to Iceland.
No, here's what happens. And this is exactly what happens. And she's looking at me, so I'm going to tell you exactly what happens.
She is looking at it.
She catches me in a vulnerable moment.
Uh-huh.
And she'll say, I want to go to Iceland. And I'll just say, okay. Not knowing that she's booking a trip.
Like as you speak.
Right. So now I have to be careful. If she says I want to go to Applebee's, I get it. You know, I
Yeah.
can say, okay.
I don't
But
know why, but
if
yeah.
she says now she's saying I want to go to Greece, I didn't just say okay that quick.
yeah.
I had questions.
Yeah.
But no, that's normally how it works. She says she wants to go somewhere. I'm in the middle of watching something. I'm not paying attention. And I say, okay. And not knowing she wants to go
Like,
in 2 months.
yeah.
And which once we get there, I'm super stoked about it because they're some of the best vacations ever. But we went to Iceland at the beginning of the year. And Iceland is very Americanized, being part of Europe.
Yeah.
If it makes sense. Because all the tourists, a lot of them are coming from America. A lot of the food there is very Americanized. Every restaurant we went to was burgers, wings, pizza, anything that you would get in any dive bar in the States. But they had unique food too. There's not a lot of beef. There's not a lot of cow in Iceland. What is, most of it's imported, or what's there is few and far between. But one thing they do serve in Iceland is horse meat.
Yeah.
So Candace and I get there. It was our first or second night, and we go in this restaurant. And like I was telling you earlier, we're on an island, and this is a fishing community. So my mind's on the freshest fish you can get is
Probably right outside the door.
right outside the door. Well, there's boats everywhere. It's a fishing community. So I'm like, I'm ordering fish before I even walk in the door. That's what I plan on ordering.
Yeah.
So we get in, and I bird dog the menu, little placard sitting on the table, and it says horse, and it's like $29. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I said the same thing, German,
Yeah.
except my accent was different.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, exactly.
I told Candace, I kind of like nudged her. I'm like,
They got Trigger on the grill back there.
yeah, like Mr. Ed's over there on the menu.
Yeah.
And so we sit at the table, and we're one of the only people in the restaurant. There's not like it's a real popular, it's not Disney World, so there's not a ton of people everywhere. And it's in the evening, so it's already dark. It got dark there at 4:30 in the afternoon.
Oh, I'd be ready to go to sleep at 5.
Yeah, we were. It was tough. But we're sitting there, and I see the fish dish I want to eat,
Yeah.
and I'm still eyeballing this horse. Well, then I started thinking about Joe Wilson. I don't know why I was thinking about Joe Wilson, but I was sitting there thinking Joe Wilson would be upset with me if I didn't eat this horse.
Yeah.
But I had my mind set on this fish, and Candace was like, I'm not eating no damn horse. Well, we'd order our food, and we're sitting there, and we kept staring at this little placard and the menu that had this horse meat on it. So the longer we're sitting there being foodies,
Yeah.
we're the people that travel to go eat food,
You're like, I got to try this.
Well, it's on the menu.
Yeah.
Like, if it's on the menu, it's evidently legal to eat it here,
Yeah.
and it can't be too bad. But we'd already ordered these other dishes, and it was getting towards closing time, and I was second guessing myself. And if anybody knows me, I'm not a big fan of that. Anytime I've ever second guessed myself, we lost the barbecue contest. So I don't second guess myself at all anymore, except on this horse. And I regretted it because we were like, we had heard that it's fairly popular in Iceland to find horse on the menu because it's more popular than beef. Their horses are, if you call them ponies there, they get offended, but they're pony size.
Yeah.
And they don't grow taller. They're short,
They don't give them a chance to.
a little bigger, right? Little bigger, and they're long hair. They're furry for the wintertime. And we were told that we'd be able to find this horse meat
Anyway.
elsewhere or anywhere in Iceland. And we learned quickly that it wasn't the case because we were both, after we walked out of there, we were disappointed in ourselves, being the foodies that we claim and we are, that we didn't order the horse. Even if you order your meal, you ordered that too, just for the experience, good or bad.
They have a horse appetizer.
They did.
They should have.
But
like maybe like a trio plate with some cheese.
when it's
sticks or
something like that, you don't worry about the price. You just get it,
yeah,
just to say you did.
yeah, that's right.
And we didn't, and we regretted it for like the next 6 days because we were told you're gonna find it, you're gonna get it. And we looked at restaurants. We even was online searching. We were peeping menus,
Yeah,
trying to find where we could order horse, because if you travel to another country, it's just normal food there.
yeah.
Just because it's weird to us
Horse bites, exactly.
doesn't,
That's what-
which doesn't mean I'm gonna go eat like a Great Dane in another country. I'm not.
No.
I'm not eating a golden retriever.
Isn't it
It's
weird,
weird,
like
but
how
so-
our mind is
Right.
like? I think I mean,
It's culture.
yes, it's culture, but we've almost humanized a horse or a dog in our.
Well, now it's a pet.
Yeah, it's a pet. That's what I mean.
Back in the day, it was a tool.
Yeah,
Nowadays, they're more a pet and something to go race on, or
yeah.
no one's plowing with them or doing that anymore with them. They're more of a.
But I bet you, if there's somebody that got hungry enough, they ate.
Oh, you
somewhere.
know it. You know, back in the day for sure when rations were slim, and
Yeah,
but that's one of our regrets from Iceland. It was a fantastic trip. We did not get a lot of awesome food like we thought we would because everything was so Americanized.
yeah.
We
You
had
see
good
that a lot
food,
more.
but not
You see
different.
that a lot more. Like if you travel to different. I've never been outside the country, so if you travel to a different country, do you see most of the time, like in the tourist areas, that it's more Americanized than not?
Yes and no,
Yeah,
because they want people that are scared to eat seafood or
or something
just,
of their
just
culture.
scared to eat something that's from their culture. They want something for them to eat, and they
Recognize.
also they want to capitalize on it and make money.
Sure, they do.
But they also have, their culture's food and their country's food. They want to put out as well. And a lot of times, the good stuff, like we've always said, are the hole in the wall places that you were kind of nervous to go in.
Man, yeah.
You know,
If you come to Mississippi, some of the best food's in some hole in the walls.
well, some of the places it's just dangerous to go to Old Charlotte's.
Yeah, exactly. It might be crappy food, right?
But no, the trips that we've gone on to eat. Candace and I, when we say we're foodies, we are. We'll go to Australia. We'll go to Iceland. We'll go. Everybody says you went to the Bahamas to go onto the beach. The beach was a bonus. The rest of it is let's go find these little huts or the little carts or whatever food restaurants that we can find that you can't get this type of food where we're from. You
Yeah.
can't even get the ingredients here.
That's right.
So we go to places that we can experience how they live, with the way they eat, their surroundings. Obviously, a lot of them live in poverty, but live in the most beautiful places in the world. But they know how to make awesome food because they've had to survive on what they
And
can
I
get.
don't know how much you've experienced that, in the places you've gone, but also like our Mexican friends, almost how they present it to you, or they just have such joy in their sharing their culture and their food with you. You can see it on their face. They enjoy it. I don't know how much you've experienced that in other countries, but that's what, like, if you come from a different country and you came up to like me or you or Mark Lambert or something and said, "Hey, would you mind cooking for us?" Yeah, we're going to enjoy the heck out of that.
Sure.
Because that's sharing what we are,
Right.
and
Well, most of the people around where we've been, like I said, Australia, Iceland, wherever we've been, they have the same passion with food that we all do.
mhm.
You don't realize, you think that they have this reaction of everybody loving their food. You have that same reaction when any of us taste your food and thinks it's awesome.
Yeah.
That's what we all get out of, giving back. We've all become successful in being great cooks, good comp cooks. Some of us have decent seasoning companies, and it makes us, the reason we do most of this is because we love to see the smile on the people that are eating our food.
Yeah.
when any of us turn out a product, no matter if it's a hot dog, a whole hog, a bowl of spaghetti, or no matter what it is, if someone takes a bite of it and they smile and go,
Yeah.
"Whoa,
Yeah.
damn!"
And it doesn't matter
That-
if it's your family,
That's right.
if it's your neighbors in your cove, if it's whoever,
That's right.
somebody in your backyard. If I'm cooking something for you, it's not that I'm looking for that, but also there's a sense of like gratification
That's it.
that you get when you see somebody's face after they've tasted something that you put so much work
That's
and passion into. And so that's just common nature for,
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Yep.
Matt Overson is in the house.
Princess is in the house.
All right, look. Jody Davis says, think how hungry the first person was that tried some of our favorite delicacies: oysters, greens, and then he says horse with a question mark. We were talking about that earlier. You know, like the first person that wanted to eat a chicken, probably.
Well, the first person that wanted to eat the chicken was one thing.
Yeah.
But then that chicken, before they ate it, laid an egg, and everybody stood back and said, "Nope, not me."
What am I gonna do with that?
Someone double dog dared them
Yeah.
to crack that first egg
Crack it and fry it.
and see what happens if you eat the inside of
Yeah,
it.
that's right.
And then the best food on the planet, called the egg yolk,
That's right.
happens. So
That's right.
First
And then
person hungry. Second person is.
what would Maynard? I mean, what would Maynard do if there was no such thing as eggs? We would just. I mean, there'd be Maynard would not even cook. Matt Overson says we are heading to Mexico Wednesday, and I'm searching for them hole in the wall places.
where are you going, Matt?
Yeah, Matt, tell us where you're going. Them hole in the wall places in Mexico might find you. Might be looking for a hole in the ground.
Candace might already have a list. She's on top of the eating places, no matter where it's at.
But yeah, we were talking about that earlier about the first time somebody ate something, and you know that took a lot. I mean, even a cow or even chicken. Like we said, it just You mean I got to pull the feathers off this thing? And
I'm not quite Andrew Zimmern,
yeah,
but I'll eat almost anything.
yeah.
And
What's the strangest thing you've ever eaten?
Oh wow! I've eaten raccoon.
Yeah,
I've eaten.
I'm from Mississippi.
Different.
Hey,
I've eaten some different birds.
Yeah, some different birds.
Yeah,
didn't you judge
I did. I judged Joe Wilson's World Championship squirrel cook-off,
Yeah,
and to Southerners, that's not a big deal. I've
No.
eaten a ton of squirrel in my life, but honestly, some of the best food that I've ever eaten in my life was judged that day at that squirrel cook-off.
yeah.
But on the other side of that sword's another edge. Some of the worst food I ever ate in my life was at that same contest. And Mr. Mark Lambert and myself judged this contest live on social media, and we did not hold back our comments.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was interesting.
Wow. I hope it goes live from on social media this year too.
Candace and I have talked about it, and I don't think I'm available that weekend.
Yeah.
I really, really want to be there really
He said-
bad because I want to judge it again.
Matt Overson said he's going to some name I can't pronounce. Isla, but
Isla.
oh, I'm sorry. Mujerus.
Mujeres?
Okay.
Oh, if Candace knows the name, she's already got a list.
All right. Hank Couch says chitlins. Man, I ate chitlins before I knew what they were, and then
I
I
did
fell
too.
in love with them. So
I didn't fall in love with them, but I
No.
tried them before I knew what they were.
I've eaten them fried and boiled. They don't bother me either way.
I felt like I was chewing on a rubber band.
Yes.
I could not get that joker chewed up to save my life.
Not a fan.
Hey, Bobby Oliver said it was great seeing you at Memphis in May. So
Him as well.
yes,
Good to see him.
Bobby Oliver is a good dude. Have you tasted his seasoning? It's pretty good. So look for Twisted Oliver out there. I want to see this deal.
I like Bobby. Him and I haven't sat down and had a bunch of conversations, but I follow him on social media. I see him at the cooks. He's a great cook.
Yeah.
You always see him get called. Hear his name. So I'm intrigued. I want to try his seasons. So
Yeah, it's good
hopefully
stuff.
next time I see you, Bobby, I want to buy some of your stuff.
He brought some down to Lambert's, and we put it on some stuff at Memphis and May, and it was good.
I'm sure he didn't come out with anything that was
No,
below par. I'm sure it's
No.
top notch.
Like his hat wear, he does not do anything half-ass.
I kind of feel like he's showing out
Do you?
with that hat.
Really?
We all wear these ball caps, and this guy shows up fancy, looking
I
suave.
think that's
No
just,
matter what,
I think that's just Bobby Oliver. He does wear a felt hat when it's 117 degrees.
he's dedicated, man,
Look,
to
I
his
did-
look. I love it.
Hey, he says, send me your address. He says, send me your address.
I'll do that.
And he will.
Pippin Ain't Easy Barbecue
Yeah.
should be the name of his.
Yeah,
his
that's right.
brand.
But I'm gonna tell you though, I think the first time I met him was we went to Tulsa, and we went to Tulsa in June, and it was 107 on the concrete out there. The steaks were melting on the table, like the fat was already like you had to pick it up. You could hear the suction off the. I'm not lying to you. And that's when. What is he saying? Peacocking. Oh, that's what he's doing. He's peacocking. That's what he said. And so I met him out there. He had that felt derby hat. Is that what it's called? Derby hat? He had
the Derby.
Yeah, he had that hat on, man. I'm like, you're straight pimping that thing. I was sitting there wearing a straw and thought I was dying. I had a
Hey.
straw cowboy hat to keep that sun off these ears. And man, it was hot, brother.
Dedicated to the look. I love it.
Yeah.
Dedicated man.
That's right.
All right, so I'm a guy that loves sausages, no matter breakfast sausage. One of my favorites, that Conecuh that we always get hooked up with. One of my favorites. But bratwurst are a Southern staple. We all eat those with hot dog. Whether it's a hot dog, a bratwurst, barbecue chicken, burgers. It's just a staple.
If you're firing up the grill, you have a need to throw some kind of bratwurst on there.
Some type. So everybody thinks they come up with all these ideas that they see online that they just try to put their own spin on. They call it, I came up with this. Well, I didn't come up with any of this. I saw it online. It looked good.
Yeah.
And it's easy.
Yeah.
It's something that anybody can do. Skill level is at the bottom. It doesn't take a pit master. Anybody's kids can do this. It'd actually be perfect for a kid to do. And it takes literally 5 minutes to prep a whole pack of brats, which is 5 or 6. And you pick your favorite cheese. You could stuff a bratwurst or a sausage with a pepper, with jalapenos. You could stuff it with onions. You could actually stuff it with anything you can think of.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody loves cheese. I love cheese. Gouda's my favorite. I used all of the Gouda on the ones that are already on the grill. But my second favorite is pepper jack.
Yes, I like
So-
pepper jack myself. So,
There-
Sandy Brown, start your video now. Like, video the screen right now.
There's a way to stuff them, and there's a way to wrap them in the bacon. And people said, no, you just stick it in there, and then you just wrap it in bacon.
Yeah.
Food's a science. Cooking is a science. No matter if you're wrapping a hot dog, there's ways better than others. And the best way is if you want to stuff a sausage, you don't start at the end and cut it down like Subway does the bread.
Yeah.
You got to give yourself a little room on the end. So start a half inch from the end
So it doesn't split.
so it doesn't, it holds it like a boat.
That's right.
And this is rudimentary to us.
Mhm.
It's simple to us, but people think it's just stuffing it. It's really not. I go them down, and then I take it all the way. I peel it all the way up until till the skin. God, why are you showing me out in my time right here? I'm trying to be the star.
Hold on, we're not going to
You
look
done
at these.
stole the show.
Oh, no, go.
German does it every time. But you open that bratwurst up all the way, try not to bust the skin, and you take a piece of cheese, literally as long as your cut, and almost as wide as that piece of sausage. Because who wants a little bit of cheese?
Not me.
You can buy the ones that have cheddar in them, but it's not enough cheddar to call it a cheddar
I
dog.
got like slivers of cheddar.
So push it all the way down till the cheese touches the skin, so it gives you
Like-
room to bring the meat around it.
Like
We-
a bratwurst canoe. And
That's
the
it.
cheese is the
And then everybody that was raised in the 70s knows how to seal this up.
One hand at a stoplight, baby.
Yep.
Give it a lick.
So we bring the meat around it.
Yeah.
And it helps to seal it. Now, that's the easy part. Now we're going to wrap it in bacon. Everybody's like, okay, I know how to wrap stuff in bacon. We've actually done tons of study, tons of research on how bacon cooks in a smoker or a grill.
Mhm.
And people might think I'm pulling their leg, but when you pull a piece of bacon off, it's natural that there's meat on one side and there's fat on the other side on every piece of bacon. No matter if you use Wright's bacon, the cheap bacon, the most expensive bacon, it all looks the same no matter
That's
what.
kind of like how I am. I'm fat on this side and meaty on the back side.
Okay.
We're going with that.
Yeah.
But when
See, you're the cooker. I'm the comedy.
there we
You gotta
go,
with this.
we're going with it.
All right.
So
Dean and Jerry.
when you wrap anything in bacon, people think I'm going to feed my neighbors or my guests the best food I can get. So I'm buying prime beef or I'm buying Wagyu beef. I'm going to wrap it in Wright's bacon because it's the most expensive pack. It's the thickest bacon. And that's the complete opposite of what you should do. You buy the prime beef, but you buy the thinnest bacon and the cheapest bacon that you can buy because the thick bacon does not brown and it does not create that good bark or the texture that we're wanting. And then we're going to go back to the two sides of the bacon. Anytime you wrap bacon around anything, you wrap it with the meat side showing. People are like, wait a minute, meat side showing. Not the fat. Meat side, fat side.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to wrap a sausage or a whole hog, a piece of chicken, anything you wrap it with the meat facing up. So when you overlap, you're covering the fat
With another piece
with
of meat.
another piece of meat. So
Never thought about that.
So as you look at it, you're going to have a little bit of the white showing or the fat, but you want the meat showing. So even if you have to use more than one piece, meat side up, overlap it a little bit, but cover your last piece. No matter if you got to use 2 pieces, 3 pieces, 4 pieces, make sure the meat covers the fat because anything white does not bark. It doesn't get dark and it won't look good when it's cooked, and we all eat with our eyes. So anytime you wrap anything, whether it's a hog, like I said, or this sausage, meat goes up and you cover the fat. That way, when it cooks, that meat will turn the color that we're all looking for.
Yeah.
Cooked bacon, mahogany, and it's going to look beautiful. If we wrapped it the other way, I'm going to take this last piece off and I'm going to turn it over where the fat's sticking up.
You would cover up the meat.
You would cover up all your meat, and then your food's white. That's not going to bark. That's never going to look done. No matter how long you cook it, it's not going to look done.
Yeah.
So meat side shows every single time.
Marcio says too much playing with the sausage.
The funny thing is this is Marcio brand sausage. But that's how you wrap anything in bacon. Meat side showing, cover the fat. Your cook time is going to be shortened because your appearance will become what you want it sooner in the cooking process.
Yeah. And you
Instead of cooking these to death or whatever you're cooking to death because your bacon's not done because you put it on there wrong.
Speaking of cooking it to death, we might.
You want to go check these other
We
ones?
might check the other ones.
Well, I know that they're done.
Richie Livingston said, "You okay, Mark? Look a little weird."
I'm parched. I've been
He dehydrated himself today.
I've been cutting weight for a fight.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, let's go. I'm gonna flip on the Gateway drum cam over there, and we can. Oh, Richie Livingston. He's a funny dude, man. If you ever hung out with him a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Good dude. Let me dig up a fresh, clean pan.
I'm gonna have one. These are probably cooled off to a good 90, 95 degrees now.
Just shy of lava.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna do the same thing.
Oh.
I'm not gonna lie.
Benuelos. Oh my goodness.
When we come back, instead of you interviewing me, I want to interview you for a few minutes.
Uh-oh.
You good with that?
I'm all right with that.
I don't think anybody's ever interviewed you
Well,
on the old school show.
I don't think so either. We can do that.
Let's go check out these bacon wrap brats.
Yeah, with the Halloween songs, yeah.
Yeah.
For one, they're perfect.
Oh, boys. They looking good now.
Hope it comes through on the screen. Hope it don't. They look dark. That is the perfect color to make for bacon to be done. Notice very little cheese came out with the way we wrapped them, the way we placed them on the grill. Obviously, you want the split side up.
I don't know if I'm getting any volume over there. Probably wasn't getting any volume over there.
If you can see them, notice that bacon is cooked perfect.
Ooh.
Notice it's not white. Everything got the color that we wanted. At this point, we could have put some Lambo combo on them. We could have sauced them. We could have put anything on top of them that we wanted. I like smoked Gouda and bacon and brats to myself.
Yeah. And I don't really have to have nothing else on it.
We do have buns if anybody wants a bun. But I would let these cool off for a minute.
Yeah, so they're not 7,500 degrees.
Yeah. We'll let those sit there. And I'm going to put this stuff up.
Oh, that smells good.
They smell good.
What about
Which
now that we
one?
got the G-Man sauce
Yeah, which one?
and
Or if the answer is yes.
both the Benuelos and the G-Man sauce?
If y'all have not had G-Man sauce, thank you, G-Man.
Thank you, Mark Lambert.
Who is it?
They're so good.
Is this a spicy G-Man sauce?
It's so good.
I don't know if I don't
Woohoo!
do the regular.
I think it's so spicy.
Yeah.
He was drinking tequila that night.
Yeah, there's a hot one, spicy.
Good luck, man.
All right.
Who was drinking tequila? No, me.
While these are cooling,
Is it my turn?
I want to ask you a few questions.
All right, go ahead. I love it.
Memphis in May.
Yeah.
You got to cook with a 7-time world champion. You got to hang out with Mark Lambert at Memphis in May in the, in quotes, new park in Tom Lee Park.
Yep.
We were at the south end of the park, so we were like 50 feet from the exit to go out. So we had it pretty good on our end. Wasn't a ton of traffic, so we didn't fight the mud like a lot of people did. Y'all were right there in the middle, and
Yeah.
we kept getting word that the shoulder people were having one heck of a time down there, even loading in, setting up, fighting the people around them. Which, when I say fight, not physically fighting, but it was tough down there in the middle, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It seemed like every bit of water was coming right in front of Mark's spot.
Down the hill.
Down the hill. And the rain we got Friday night, Saturday morning didn't do us any favors at all. You know, and then all the dirt that was on top of the flooring just got slick. I walked in early that morning. I had donuts and coffee, and we were getting ready for Cook's Church. And man, it was slick. It was real slick. And a guy walked past me, and he had a wagon in his hand. He said, "Man, do I need to? You need me to tote that for you?" He said, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm going to the shoulder teams." "Well, I got to go through there. I'm a rib team. I'll haul it for you. Maybe you can walk a little bit better." And I was like, "Cool," because I had like a Dunkin' Joe box and a bag full of donuts, that kind of thing. But yeah, it was tough. And then we sat there and looked and said, "How's the judge getting in this booth today?" Like, there was a puddle right when you go in the gate of our booth.
That was Friday afternoon, though, right?
No, that was Saturday morning.
Oh, so y'all still had the water there Saturday morning.
Saturday morning, we called Memphis in May people and say, "Hey, y'all need to come by and look at this." And the guy came by and looked, and he said, "I can't do anything about it." It's like, I come by here to look so y'all wouldn't think we didn't care, but I can't really do anything about it. And that was the way it was. They couldn't put any sand down, so we didn't have an option. So what we ended up doing was we took one of the tables from McCaffrey and laid it across the from the flooring to the other floor, and we put a piece of artificial turf on top of it, drilled holes into the table, and I was like, well, paying the deposit for that table is going to be, or buying that table is going to be better than the judge not being able to come in our booth. So me and Chris Culver and some other people knocked that out. But it was an interesting, I mean, as many years as I've been down to Memphis in May and cooked at Memphis in May, it was different for sure. Definitely the walking around and just kind of trying to feel like, hey, is this familiar? But it wasn't.
Yeah, trying to navigate the place was tough because we didn't really have them. We had a generic map of the team layout, but when you were walking it didn't relate. When you look at that map, it's way different than the landscape when you're walking down through it.
Yeah.
What was your overall thought of the park? Let's pretend you didn't spend any money to be there. You're just down there. You paid your $18 to get in. You're a spectator you've been there before, so you knew what it was the last few years that it was down there. And you saw the new layout, and we know, obviously we got to grade it on a curve because it's not finished.
Yeah.
But what was your opinion on it?
I thought, hey, it's going to be a nice place when it's finished. I'm not saying now, to me, like if you look at the park in general and say Memphis in May was the only reason how that place makes any money at all, and you mess it up for that, I wouldn't have done it myself. Right. If I was owner of Tom Lee Park, I wouldn't have messed it up because you took out about half the teams.
Yeah.
But you think about it, it is a limited number of teams, but it was the best of the best.
It was
the best of the best down there, and it really was. And the competition was really close, and you could tell. I mean, we had a good day, and when you sit there and like Lambert, he puts on 10. 3 10s across the board on site, and you don't get a call. I mean, you just about had to have a perfect score.
Yeah,
to get in.
100%. It was so tight this year. They cut the teams down, but obviously they had to because of space. But last year we were fortunate enough to be second place.
Yeah.
In whole hog, and we were 0.66. I'm just trying to put something into perspective for people how tight this was this year. Last year we were second place whole hog. We were 0.66
from Grand Champ.
From Grand. We were 0.65 from tying.
Yeah.
It's 0.66 from Grand, and was second place. This year we were 6th place, and we were 0.34 from tying our good friends Dusty and Scott at hometown for first place.
They got first place,
right?
0.34,
0.34, and that's from first to 6th.
So 6th place was closer than first to second last year.
Correct.
Wow.
So when everybody's like, man, y'all only got sixth.
You're pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We only got sixth.
Yeah,
But
that's
our hog, if the coin would have been flipped the right way, that hog would have been grand champion.
Yeah.
Just anybody in that top 6, 7, or 8 in that division or any of those divisions could have won the whole show.
Yeah.
It really came down to one judge and that number right behind the decimal point.
That's right.
If you want to get down to it.
Oh,
yeah. We're very, very happy to be 6th, especially in that group of people. Anytime you walk the stage there is fantastic. But when you're less than a half a point from winning the whole thing, even though you're 6th, you've got to be pretty stoked.
I mean, you look at teams like that were in the top 5 or top 10, and Marcio, Hog Addiction, they've been grand champion all year. They were hot coming in. I mean,
came in 9th place. That
came in ninth
shows you.
place.
That shows you the top 10 at Memphis and May. The people that walk the stage, people think, well, they only got 10th.
Yeah.
They did get to walk the stage. They didn't get the big trophy, but that 10th place hog could have won if this judge would have sat on this table versus the one they sat on.
Exactly.
And 9 out of 10 times for the teams that have a product that can win Memphis and May, it's one in the blind box, and we all know that. All the teams are going to have damn near a straight 10 on site anyways.
Yeah.
We know how to present it. Even if our food's not the greatest, we're going to get through the prelim on sites.
Yeah.
We all know we're going to get through that. I'll get a drop score. B&O has straight 10s on site. What got us? 2 judges knocked us for 0.2. This next judge got us for 0.2 or something like that. Or 0.1 something to average that 0.34. But it's so tight that one judge with one little sliver of meat can take you from 6th to grand championship.
Exactly.
25,000+, tons of money in sales afterwards over one little bite, and that one judge knocked us on flavor.
Really?
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Right.
Yeah, I'm
Like every score that we got all weekend at Memphis and May in the hog, if we got dinged, that was our drop score, was not in flavor. Everyone was perfect score in flavor. That one judge knocked us in flavor, but it's subjective, and you got to take it, Fortunately, our good friends and barbecue family, Dusty and Scott, Caroline, the whole hometown crew, we were standing right there with them, arms around each other, waiting for that second place call. And what happened every year when one of our friends wins or when we win, someone smashes my glasses against my nose. And luckily it was Dusty this year because they took home the first place. And we were so happy, so stoked that everybody says, what would you do different?
Nothing.
Would not change anything we did. People asked, did the TV film crew change anything about your cook? Not one bit. We would not change anything that we did.
Yeah.
We would turn everything in the exact same way because the cards could fall just a little bit different next time. And that's what we all hope for.
Yeah.
Memphis and May takes tons of skill, but it takes just as much luck as it does skill to win Memphis and May.
That's right. Richie Livingston just says that's all cooking comps. You can put the best you ever have cooked on the table, but if it's not at the right table, or you're not winning. And that's why I just do what I can, and you just hope for the best.
Every year we see teams that are literally either fist fighting. There's husbands and wives getting divorced. Teams are splitting up. I'm never cooking this again. I'm never doing this again. There's tons of excuses. But Myron Mixon doesn't win every year. Melissa Cookson don't win every year. Mark Lambert doesn't win every year. Boar's Night Out's never won. We'd have been damn close, but it's if anybody goes to Memphis in May expecting to win, for one, they're fools.
Yeah.
Hoping to win, praying to win, whatever you do to hopes to win, it might be your thing. But if you go expecting to win, you're in the wrong deal. You're in the wrong sport. And there's a lot of people go there with high expectations that get shot down, whether it's something they do or the judges but I see a lot of relationships end over barbecue in Memphis in May, and it's a shame because it's such a crapshoot. And if all the teams and the competitors understood, even the newbies, though they get upset, they want to throw stuff, they're like pissed, and it's like, we've been doing it since 2007.
Yeah.
There's teams that have walked the stage way more than we have. We might have been higher places.
Yeah.
But
and your effort doesn't, like, if you're not mad over it, that doesn't like correlate with the effort that you put in.
But
But people think that, like, oh, all the hard work. Well, yeah, you were going to do the hard work anyway.
yeah, you might.
Whether you won or you didn't.
You also might work hard to change your tire, and your spare might be flat too.
That's right. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
how hard you work doesn't reflect on the outcome of the contest.
That's right.
And that's
That's right.
what people get. People let their pride, how tired they are, and how much work they put in it, and the money they've spent in the Memphis in May, and it becomes a bitch fest on social media and all these places where they have a place to talk.
Well,
And honestly, in my opinion, of Memphis in May this year, we had a great experience.
Yeah.
It took a little longer to load in. It took a little longer to load out. But they told us all that on the front end.
be patient.
Be patient. And the people that were patient got further ahead than the people that bitched and complained the whole time.
Well, what good? And this could be a life situation. What good is that going to do? Like, me being angry is not doing anything except raising my blood pressure.
The logistics people did and the transpo people did the best they could with what they had to work with. They always do.
Yeah.
There's always going to be the people that bitch and complain and throw a fit that they're basically more important than everybody else. My stuff needs to be in because my tent needs to go up. But heck with the other 135 people.
Yeah.
And there's the same people that complain every year.
Yeah.
We were super patient. We worked with the people, the forkers, whatever they were called.
Yeah,
And
that's what they call it.
Sounds like
that's what they were called, and that's what they're called, their hotline. And we sat back and we were patient. Our stuff got done. Nothing was torn up. Everything was the way it should have been. It just took a little longer.
Yeah.
Understandable. We were at the other end where we were not crammed in the middle of everybody, so we were fortunate and lucky for that. But there was a lot of people really upset and bad-mouthing Memphis in May. But they're the same people that complain about everything.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, Memphis in May did a great job to me. They took what they had to work with, and they did great, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, there's always going to be those people that complain.
That's
It could
right.
have been perfect. It could have been dry with no dust,
Yeah.
no rain, which you can't have both. And they could have paid to 25th place, and someone's going to complain. In my experience of being there since the early 80s, we had it as good as we could get with that layout.
Yeah.
It was tight. You didn't have to sign up. They said before you even signed up, we have
They knew what it
limited.
was gonna be.
We had limited space. It's going to be muddy. It's going to be expensive. The people that were there didn't have to be there.
That's right.
So the people that were complaining need to look in the mirror instead of pointing fingers,
yeah.
because they could have opened up a spot for another team to cook that was grateful to be there,
That wanted to be
that
there.
wanted to be there. So,
That's
and
right.
I know Brandon and Michelle O'Gwen, great barbecue family. Not only do they run the judging tent at Memphis in May, they worked their butt off.
Mhm.
Did they need to hear a bunch of people bitching and complaining?
No.
Not one bit. That's what they got.
Yeah.
And it's a shame. I hope Memphis in May has it down on the river again. I hope it's there indefinitely. Whether they have 250 teams, 150 teams, or 50 teams. When the paperwork comes out, sign up early.
That's right.
Don't make excuses. You know,
That's right. Pay your money.
That's
Get
right.
Get yourself in.
a lot of big name people were not there this year. Some were not accepted. don't procrastinate next year if it's down on the river is all I can say. If you want in and you didn't get in, pay the first day.
Yeah.
The people that pay early, no matter if you're a big name or a no name, getting in early and paying your money is going to make a big difference. So,
Yeah.
But I think these things are cooled down enough to
Yeah.
not let the top of my mouth hang.
Yeah. Let's see what's happening here.
I'm going to dig one of these plugs.
I'm gonna get like a fork and a knife, and not maybe go for the.
You're going bougie.
I'm eating my Snickers bar with a fork and a knife.
All right, good story about fork and a knife. Alan and I have cooked every category at Memphis and May. Hog shoulder rib. The last time that we did whole hog, we were right next to the shed. When I say last time we did whole hog, that's before we transferred to rib and then shoulder and then back to hog.
Yeah.
The shed was filming a show with Michael Simon right beside us, and Big Mo was across from us, and there was Myron was on the other side of us. Remember, the very end didn't have the cheese because we only cut the tip of it. But
I'm good with that.
what
That
we're,
first part.
what we're just talking about is possible train of thought, talking about your
Talk. Yeah. You said Myron.
Byron, Mo,
That somebody was doing a show with Chef Simon.
Michael Simon.
Yeah, but you got me. I got all thrown off on that sausage. I'll think of it here in a minute.
Did it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looked like a good bite.
It was a good bite. He's right. It didn't. Here, I'm getting a little bit of cheese now.
There you go. Y'all come up here and eat too. We do have buns and just break it apart. Oh yeah.
Al Smith, I got your hat. That's good right there.
I got the pepper jack one. There's Gouda ones in there somewhere. Hey, Dusty's got food too.
Yeah, Dusty's got chili. Yeah. And I want a yuca.
Mm.
Let me have a little bit of yuca. And then
Ooh, sausage
That-
on
and
the
that-
bun with your yuca.
yeah.
That's like an Atlanta variety. But they got dough and not.
Are you talking about bratwurst on the
You gotta put,
G-Man sauce on the bratwurst? Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
you know that's good.
Uh-oh, I ain't good enough.
Oh, that's good.
You digging it?
Hey,
It is good. It's
G-Man
good.
sauce makes
You
it
were
every
telling the story about forks and knives.
Oh yeah,
That's what Sandy Brown said.
man. That's why we sponsor her, because she remembers everything and we don't.
Yeah.
And she's the best cook ever. But we sat down. First judge comes in. This lady. We take her up on the pit. We show her the grill. We go through the whole spiel. That's why we cook on these backwoods. This is what wood we use. This is the charcoal we use. And then Bob and Alan send her down to me.
Yeah.
Sends her down to the Vulture.
Yeah.
So
Bad boy barbecue.
the bad boy. So we sit down at the table, and I'm going to start talking to her about sauces and rubs. I'm telling her how to get from point A to point B on this hog cook, right?
Yeah.
Take her, how we got from that cooler to on this table right now. And she interrupted me and says, do you have any silverware? I have an answer for everything, actually.
Uh-huh.
And I had to pause for a minute because I was dumbfounded that a judge at Memphis and May, which if everyone don't know is the world championship, the American Royal's cool, but they don't cook whole hogs at the American Royal. This is the most prestigious contest in the world. And a judge asked me for silverware.
We had the same thing.
And then to top it off, she was a vegetarian.
What?
She did not eat meat. So her goal was to chew this food up and spit it out.
Nuh-uh.
That way she tasted texture, or felt the texture, she tasted the flavor, and then she would spit it out.
Negative.
So back in this time of my life, I was a little more not caring.
Yeah.
Like I do now.
Yeah.
I had this in my mind the whole time she's telling me this because I knew we'd lost.
Yeah.
There's no way you're granting Memphis and May when a judge wants silverware and doesn't eat meat. So I'm furious, and
That'll be
the
something they tell you right off the bat.
Right.
Like I would have changed. I would have asked for another judge. At that
Well, literally the thought in my mind instead of feeding this judge because at that point I really didn't care.
Yeah.
You know, on TV or the cartoons when one stands up and they grab the tablecloth and they go boom
Oh, the Yankees.
and try to snatch it out from underneath everything. That's
Yeah.
what I wanted to do, to
Yeah.
see if I could pull it off at Memphis and May, because they pulled off sending me a vegetarian that wanted silverware. So those are the obstacles that we've gone through at Memphis and May when everybody this year bitched about mud.
Yeah. Yeah.
Y'all complain about that. We're going to complain about being judged at the World Championship of Barbecue where you drop 25 G's to get judged by a vegetarian that wants to eat your whole hog with a fork.
Yeah.
That's what we've dealt with.
She doesn't want to eat it. She wants to chew it around in her mouth and spit it out.
Never loved a spitter in my life.
Wow. This is a family show, Eric.
TMI.
The judges that spit my food out is insulting to me.
It is.
This chili looks like it ought to have some noodles underneath it.
Oh.
What if we put one of these stuffed brats on a bun and covered it in that chili?
I think that's what Dusty Wally did.
See,
See,
we're back here running our traps and y'all are eating the good.
We already got it stacked, baby.
See,
Everybody back there's already doing it.
yeah. I just
Now
took
I'm jealous. I'm going Yucca. No, I'm not.
No, I think I got the last one. I didn't know I did.
Yucca got the last one.
You got the last one. All right, so Nakia brought it up right here.
Mm.
He says, "Sorry for the emotional damage, permanent emotional damage, Ashley, for the grease burns." All right, so we're doing the hot wing competition, right? We're getting ready, and I'm over here working the basket. You know, I'm working the chicken wings, and we got one down, and we count them, and we need one more. And Nakia picks it up and just throws it in the basket. Grease comes up, hits me in the face and down my shirt, like. And if it wasn't for my beard, I would have a scar right there, no doubt.
He's one heck of a guy.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
and with the hot wings people you know
Yeah.
and love, and we love y'all too. And both of us are standing here. That's what you had to go
Hey, but hey, when we walked up, when they called our Sweet Swine of Mine for that trophy and nobody else was around, that's why I went up there. I was like, I got scarred over there.
I earned it.
Yeah. I'm like, it wasn't my recipe or nothing, but I got scarred.
Thank you, Nakia.
Thank you, Nakia, for burning my face. So,
Well,
man, that chili is rock star.
it's all fantastic.
Yeah, man.
Mm.
Them buñuelos.
Okay.
That probably wouldn't be bad in chili either.
Oh, it's real good.
You could turn those into a dessert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real easy.
Shake them with cinnamon, sugar. You could stuff them with a piece of cheesecake.
Yeah,
Bad meat
What?
with brisket.
Okay. Brisket would be good.
I didn't know what it said.
You should bond beef.
We got to have Jenny here to translate.
I'm usually pretty good, but he started talking fast. So I'm out.
Sometimes I don't speak German.
Yeah, that's right. Which is Colombian.
Which is Colombian. That's right.
You speak firm?
That's why no one speaks Berm.
All right.
Except Berm.
It's kind of like speaking woo-woo.
What kind of conversation would that be?
Oh, my
If
gosh.
Woo Woo and Berm were sitting beside each other.
Did you see the video? Did Mark send you the video of him accepting the World Championship Jambalaya?
Which is unbelievable, by the way.
Yeah.
Congratulations to him.
But, I mean, it was just all I understood was woo-woo and jambalaya.
Yeah.
The rest of it, didn't understand a single word of it.
I didn't hear him talk. I thought they were just playing reruns of The Water Boy.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Woo, 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 woo. And they
Good
went up
stuff.
to him and at T Wayne's the other day and says, and he was mixing up some jambalaya, and he said, stirring it over, and they said, "What's this? What's this, Todd B?" He said, "That's some of that World Championship jambalaya." Woo, 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 woo. I mean, it's great.
And the later the night gets,
The more woos it is.
is that the special gravity Tom's over?
Oh yeah, that is the gravity pecans. Look, I'm still getting views on TikTok over that.
Since we brought up the Cajuns, I want to give a shout out to Brian Lips.
Yeah,
I hadn't seen that guy in years and years.
great
And he's a fantastic guy, one of the best Cajun cooks that I've ever been around. And the last day, me and Miss May were walking up the hill. And I said, "When'd you get here?" Because he'd been there for like a day, and then he was heading back out. He said, "I got here last night. I had to cook 13,000 pounds of crawfish
Yeah.
yesterday."
Oh, good Lord.
And
Yeah.
that like blew me away, which I knew he did, big volume food. But he's like, it was just a Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Well, up here, we think of crawfish boils, and they got 3 sacks or 4 sacks. I'm like,
If I had to do
Man, that's a
13,000 pounds, I might not want to move for a couple of days.
man. And hey, that's every day.
Yeah.
During crawfish season.
I can't remember how many pounds of crawfish he said he cooked so far this season, but it was
Hundreds of thousands of pounds.
Yeah, it was a stupid amount. A stupid amount. Say, hey, Eric, Ashley speaks and translates very good Germanese. Better than most.
That must be good.
Who's been that?
Gary Castile. Hey, also, we're going to have a few announcements of Barbecue Country. Will be back on season 1, episode 2. We'll be ready to air next Wednesday, 7 o'clock. And then also at that same time, Kendall Adair will be on MasterChef at the same time, 7 o'clock Fox. They are highlighting the South region, so they should show Kendall a little more.
Yeah.
And so that should be a fun time.
Everybody needs to tune into the Barbecue Country show. It's their first season, so everybody give them a little break.
Yeah.
The film crew that's filming it, film music videos. So
Yeah, this is their first. This is their first food. Anything doing with food.
food related show.
Food related show, but they're going to change some editing up a little bit and add some more. The feedback we got from the first episode, they're going to add some more food shots.
Right. We were there this past weekend in Lebanon, Tennessee to film the finale. I was there supporting Alan, which is one of the mentors on the show. And from all of us getting to watch or was able to watch the first episode, we saw things that they could improve on, being the first show, first time filming this show with a crew, obviously, that's never filmed food. So it's definitely going to get better as the season goes. So everybody give them a chance and support all your friends, whether you like the show or not, because the more barbecue, the more cooking or outdoor cooking related stuff we get to on TV is the more people that's going to bring to competition and bring into our inner world of comp cooking.
And stuff and there's a lot of shows out right now. The Barbecue Showdown. It's in the top 10 on Netflix right now.
Yep.
Good show. Good, not a bad show. Have you seen the new episode, the new season?
We had it on at the cabin last weekend, and we turned it on to where it wouldn't sleep.
Yeah.
So that show played for 2 days in a row.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Just in the background, just while we're hanging out. So, yeah.
It was pretty challenging. They were cooking in the sand and had to cook some of their proteins underground and stuff like that. So that's definitely a challenge.
A typical Memphis and May scenario.
Yeah, exactly. So what else did we have going on? Mark and I are going to Round Rock, Texas next weekend for the National High School Barbecue Association Championship. I know Boys Night Out and White Light and kind of partner up and sponsor some of those teams there.
We do.
So just for the young people, they're not playing video games. They're not. This is some time they're learning team skills. They're having to communicate with people. These are all positive things for young people because
That's right.
these are all things that young people aren't doing these days. They're learning a life skill. They're learning how to cook, and they're learning how to talk to people and talk to each other, and not on a electronic device.
Well, the couch kills more people than any sickness or disease ever.
Yeah.
Sit on the couch. It's not good. These kids they're outside.
Yep.
They're learning skills to eat.
That's right.
It's one thing we got to have to live.
That's right.
They're learning skills to provide for their families in the future. They're learning skills that I wish that I could learn in high school. Being from Memphis in the
Sure.
South,
Wouldn't you love to have a barbecue team?
and have someone else pay for it.
Yeah.
Who all wanted that?
Yeah, exactly.
But Alan and I teamed up with Roland from Poncho and Lefty. Last year we sponsored the Sanger High School team. There was 2 teams, and they were both state champions in their divisions, and they're in the high school championship. So this year, since there was such success, they had a line of students
That wanted
ready
to
to
sign up.
sign up and to start their own teams and to either join teams or start their own, which is fantastic.
That's
So
right.
we went from 2 teams to 5. So we sponsor 5 high school barbecue teams.
Right.
Down in Texas. And the reason we don't do it up here is because the kids up here they don't have the passion yet.
Yeah, that's right.
We're trying to get it. Lambert's been working with some schools around, and
God, it didn't take long for these to melt out.
we would support DeSoto County and the schools around here as well. But Texas has a lot of kids that are wanting to cook comp barbecue.
Yeah.
So we're supporting these kids. And this weekend's
good sauce.
this coming weekend's the championship. And unfortunately, we're not going, but y'all are going to represent DeSoto County and represent everybody down there. So it's
54 teams. 54 teams from 40 of them are from Texas. Then the other ones are Missouri, and I think next year their national championship is going to be in Missouri. They've signed up for Branson next year and Springfield the year after that. So they're going to move it around a little bit. But they've got a lot of teams from Missouri, and then also Indiana. There are some in West Tennessee. No, East Tennessee. That's what I was trying to say. And so it should be a fun time. We're super excited. We get to share the gospel with them twice during that time. Sunday afternoon at Cook's Church, right before their Cook's meeting, and then Tuesday we're going to have a sunrise service right by the pool at the resort. So it should be a fun time.
Well, everybody that has a cooking team, that has avenues of spreading the word, maybe getting some of these kids involved, maybe we could get some other schools to have a barbecue team, or I'm sure a lot of these schools are not going to want to fund any of it, just like the ones in Texas did not. So they're going to have to bring in some outside funding.
Yep.
And that's what they need. They need some people, like Roland and B&O to step up.
And the guys from Icy Tech have been
right.
really good.
There's a bunch of people, and I don't want to start naming a bunch of folks because I don't want to leave anyone out, but there's a bunch of people that make it happen. And it's these kids, they're in school. They don't have their own money to dump into pits and supplies. And we don't even know if their parents do, but we don't ask. We don't care. So we're going to do what we can to support it. And I think there's other people that don't need to sit back and watch other people do it.
Yeah. There's enough need there.
There's enough need, and there's enough people with resources. That's what they need. They need resources.
And not only you think, where's that going? You're fueling the future of our competitive sport of competition cooking, because that is the future. We say that all the time about kids being our future, but these high school kids that are learning this craft, they are the future of our sport.
That's
no matter what.
At this point, we want to get them just good enough to where they don't beat us.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
There's enough Caden Blakes and
That's right.
and
That's right.
Riley Wrights around.
So we're going to support them just enough.
Just enough.
No, but everybody needs to step up. Don't sit back on the outside and watch everyone else do it. Be the person that goes into the school system or the school board and says, let's try to get an organization together to get some more kids off their butt.
Yeah, that's right.
Not all the kids have great homes. They don't have great backgrounds. But if we can get them outside, get them together with people to help learn, teach them something, then I think we'll all be better.
All right. And if you're staying in Mississippi, go sign up for Holly and Steve's SCA event next Saturday, also the 17th. So they're going to be Saturday and Sunday. So make sure. Yeah, the Velvet Ditch there in Oxford.
My popsicle's about going.
Yeah, man, we got to go. But we're going to pray first. Let's pray it out. Our gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, we just thank you for this night. We thank you for these friends and family, Lord. Just thank you for this blessing, and thank you for your grace and your mercy, and thankful for everybody watching. Hopefully touch their hearts in a positive way. Thank you for the food again, and bless those that the hands that cooked it. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Well, we'll have mini pot next Thursday. Fires will start at 6:00. The show will start at 7. The category is Asian.
Anything Asian. Anything.
Anything Asian.
And we know that some of the ingredients in our pantry are not conducive to Asian. This is going to be an anything goes mini pot. The chips that get drawn out of the bag, everything has to be cooked out of the Shane Lynn Townsend Spice Pantry.
Yeah.
If it's a you call it, which Lambert drew last time, and you get to pick whatever you want, a lot of times it's hard to pull all those ingredients and seasonings out of the pantry. Those on the you call it chip are anything goes.
Yeah.
You bring anything you want. Everything has to be cooked in the mini pot.
Everything.
So if you, like last time we did Italian, I did my pasta, my meatballs, my sauce, everything in that one pot. So if you bring 2 pots, you're anteing up twice.
That's right. One pot.
$20.
Unless you're
Per
like
pot.
Dusty and can make 2 more ounces come out of that 1 quart pot.
Dusty's the only person I
2
know
more quarts.
that can cook 40 ounces of food in a 32-ounce pot.
That's right. That's right. Man, it's been a fun show.
It's been a good time.
Eric, we appreciate you as always.
Thank you for having me.
Also, our Popsicles of Prayer was brought to you by Boys Night Out and Team White Lightning. Thank y'all for all that. And look, as always, love God and love people, y'all. And we'll see y'all later. Peace out. Thanks, brother.
Yes, sir. Good times.
Good times. Y'all have a good week. See y'all.